that's why the best way to shove an ice cream cone up your arse is to go ice cream first.
Fair enough.
Hello and welcome to the Phil Shy podcast. I'm Peter Bell and with me as always, Nice Man Comedy, Paddy Linton.
Hello.
By the way, that was just a weird reference to a debate that happened on Facebook years ago.
What?
On my page. The correct way to shove a cornell up your arse.
Pointy end first.
No, ice cream first, mate.
Pointy end would be easier.
No, because it numbs you, the ice cream numbs you and acts as lubricants. Think about it. Anyway, so... Just a fact for you guys.
If anybody's out there that's done it, like, please
get in touch.
Get in touch with us and let us know. Somebody must have done it.
Honestly,
I might do it as just part of the pod. I can be a Patreon extra.
It kind of happened because we were at my flat, right? And I'm talking to one of my mates, and I just see out the corner of my eye another one of my mates who's Jack, built like a brick shit house, just go, yeah, with a twisting motion. And I was like, right, hold on, what are you talking about? And he was like, oh, shoving a canal up your arse. And I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Fair enough.
And then we started a Facebook poll about it, and people were coming to me saying that they were having this debate in their work. And it's pure wild, and I had no idea who they were and stuff like that. So it spread like wildfire through Glasgow. So yeah, comment. How would you do it? Anyway, how you been?
How do you eat yours? I've been good, mate. Busy, but good.
Who's Gart?
We got we Gary's class, man. He's been back for another MOT. He's bogging, man. He doesn't groom himself. Like, honestly, don't get a Persian cat, man. Like, just get a normal cat. It's easier. Let's get wash this thing.
It's not an undertone of Persians aren't normal. I don't think Persia exists anymore. I think we're alright in that.
Wherever he sits in the rug, we're like, oh, look, a Persian on a Persian. Hey, oh.
I'm sure that's fine.
How about you, mate? How you been?
Alright, I had a quiet weekend in, which was good. Although I went around with my mates, didn't drink, we just fired up an emulator and played old PS1 games.
Decent.
Yeah, FIFA 99, that was good fun.
That's when you could still just like punch players. you could just jab the goalie.
He got 3 red cards in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And he couldn't explain why.
That's all we did in FIFA 99.
He was just punching people off camera.
They should bring that back.
I
start
know,
street fighting.
It was great. Well, at least have a friendly mode where you can turn that on.
Aye,
and just see what happens.
Fuck each other.
Aye, exactly. It was good. It was good fun.
Turn it into an African Cup of Nations game. Just a gang fight with a football.
I was going to say that's arguably more South America, but
both.
Potato though. And Crash Team Racing, which turns out I'm still good at, which is nice to know. We've got a lot to talk about football news-wise because a lot of stuff's happened since we were last on. But first of all, we should introduce what juice I'm drinking.
What is it? Is that slush puppy?
Slush puppy. Fizzy blue raspberry.
De-slushed?
Yeah, I'm assuming so. I fucking hope so. It looks liquid.
That looks
I've not
incredibly bad for you.
Do you know what?
I would drink it though. Like
It's got 1 calorie in it.
Is it?
Aye. So I can't imagine it's going to taste very good.
What's the verdict?
It's quite flat.
It's quite flat?
Yeah.
Nah,
I'd imagine, like, see if you had raspberry vape liquid, imagine it's like drinking
You
that.
could vape that, mate.
I'm not going to try it. But yeah, big football news since we last did it. Thomas Tuchel is the New England manager.
Yeah. It's a dark day for Man United fans.
What it is...
Because he was the hope.
Yeah, that is true. But what it is a news story that the English tabloid press handled with typical style and grace, with the shit rag that is the Sun, saying that although he is a great, and I'm quoting here, lederhosen, it is a dark day for England.
Yeah.
Not English football. It is a dark day for England.
For England as a country.
Yeah, forget the past 13 years of Tory government. Forget the London and Manchester bombings. Forget the Falklands War. Forget all World War II. Forget the Spanish flu. Forget all that. A dark day for England is when a very talented German manager takes over the England squad.
Yeah, aye, because they said like a German in all caps becomes England manager.
Honestly, they reacted as if we'd been conquered by them.
The last war was nearly 100 years ago. Get over it, man.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I know. I'm sorry, if you work for The Sun, I don't know how you get away with calling yourself a journalist. Like, you're a shit stirrer, a professional shit stirrer. But there is an interesting discussion to be had about whether a national team should be managed by a manager from that country. Not for any xenophobic or fucking pride of Britain nationalistic bullshit, but because players are subject to those rules, so maybe you could have the discussion, should the manager be?
Aye.
You know, because you can only pick players from that country, should the manager also come from that country? Because it is a national team.
Aye. I don't know. Like, I think it's all right to have a foreign manager.
Well, so do I, but also at the same time, part of my brain goes, but why though?
Well, Stan Collymore had a great take on this on Twitter.
That's unlike him.
No, like, he's actually all right.
Tell that his wife.
Well, don't tell that to Eureka, but like, he was saying about how, like, you've got people like Gerrard and Lampard that walked out of playing and went straight into like top level jobs. And he's like, whereas like you look at Spain
And Rangers.
like in Spain, like a player retires and then they manage like the under 18s.
Yeah.
And they work their way up, so they don't just go straight into jobs. So they learn the craft of management. That's why there's such a dearth of like English managers that are at the top level.
That's what happens in Germany as well. Like Klopp started at an under 18s or under 20s team. So did Tuchel. I'm sure that happened with Nagelsmann as well.
Yeah.
So that's the
even if you
progression
look
they
at
go through.
Arteta, like Arteta was an assistant for ages before
Yeah.
he took his first job.
And even then, that was a mental decision.
Aye.
Like when Arsenal made that decision, I was like, you're taking a huge risk there. I mean, he must have interviewed amazingly well.
Aye. He
Yeah.
probably went in and did some magic. just held up a light bulb.
Yeah, I was about to say he did his light bulb speech. Or robbed him. And just
Let's go back to Tuchel before I get angry.
You're always angry. Always a bit him. So you genuinely don't think it's a problem? You think you can
Nah,
manage
it's
anything?
alright.
I get the logic though, because it's a national team can only pick players from that country. Why shouldn't there be managers from that country? The problem is the reason why most countries don't want to do it is because they don't have good enough coaches to do that.
Yeah.
And Spain, I imagine Spain and France would be all right with it because they tend to pick. I can't remember the last time either of them was managed by someone that wasn't from those countries. Germany's the same, but for smaller countries in particular that don't have massive.
Hopefully it goes as well as the time we had a German manager.
Berry votes.
Christian.
The problem is though, Tuchel's he's quite good.
I know.
He's won quite a few trophies in his time, so I'm going to go through them here. So Dortmund, he won the Pokal, but that was peak Bayern, so the odds of winning anything else is very limited. PSG, and you've got to take that with a pinch of salt, but he won the league twice. Won the Coupe de France, Coupe de la Ligue, and the Trophy de Champions twice. Chelsea won the Champions League, the Super Cup, the Club World Cup.
Yep.
And at Bayern, he won the Bundesliga, and he got a bunch of individual awards. Coach of the Year, German Coach of the Year, UEFA Coach of the Year, FIFA Coach of the Year. All that.
Is he not a bit mental though?
Aye, but well, this is the thing, right? So his training is like renowned for being a bit mad. So like he makes defenders hold tennis balls so they can't pull shirts.
Oh,
so
really?
They have to learn to tackle with their feet. Yeah.
I like that. That's quite
He
cool.
makes the training pitch smaller when they're doing passing drills, so you have to you can't play long
you've no
passes.
space.
You've got no room. You have to be accurate. He used to forgo tactical training sometimes altogether and just do possession drills and passing drills. He did psychological training. In fact, during his time at Mainz, I think you call it, in Dortmund, players would say they would look forward to games because they were so much easier
Than actual training.
under Tuchel, yeah. So he's an intense guy, which is unusual for a German, obviously. I'm available to write for you, the Sun. So he's tactically, he likes to overload the centre of the pitch with really, really technical footballers,
Yep.
which might suit England's skill set because they've got quite a lot of good centre midfielders.
Aye.
He likes to play by a deep line playmaker, which could bring Bellingham back there.
Yep.
Have him sit beside Rice, and that leaves space for someone like Palmer or Foden to play in the centre attacking midfielder role. So it could, annoyingly, really, really suit what England have got. This could be a really good appointment for them.
Did you see? I think it was Nelson that put it up. Like after they announced it, they had key dates, and what the bottom key date was the World Cup final.
Fuck.
Like they're doing it already.
Aye, like that. This is the thing. It's a good appointment for them. He does appear to be a rather good competition manager.
Yeah.
But they are still England.
It's England.
They are still England. And there's still France, there's still Germany, there's still Spain who look incredible right now. So I think they might get a bit carried away.
This catapults Southgate into the hot favourite to take our Man United.
Nah, I honestly, please do
I
that
love
Man
it.
United.
I would love it.
Because he's shite.
He's just pure shite.
He is. Okay, so other big news, City versus the Premier League. So both Manchester City and the Premier League claimed a victory in a court case, that was in front of a panel.
How can they both claim a victory?
Well, we should make this clear firsthand. This isn't anything to do with the 115 charges. This is to do with the sponsorship thing.
Right.
So Premier League set up rules where you can't be sponsored by, or you can be sponsored by a company that is connected to your owner, but you can only be sponsored by fair market value. So you approach the Premier League and they say, we want Etihad Airways to sponsor us.
Yeah.
So the Premier League go, okay, they go away and evaluate it, and they'll tell you, okay, here's the fair market value, you can't go above that.
Yeah.
And if you want to go above that, they just say no. So that's how that works. The Manchester City said they thought that was against the British laws of competition. Like monopoly and all that kind of bullshit.
Aye.
Like those kind of business laws that are in place. So that it's not fair, that's not legal. What happened was the panel did find that some of it was unlawful. So I'll need to find it here because this is a long fucking stream of consciousness. So Manchester, they found that the rules exclude shareholders' loans, so i.e. your owner lending money to the club.
Yep.
And the panel thinks that should be included. It was also unfair because the Premier League don't show the clubs the data, the information they use to decide whether it's fair market value or not.
Right.
And they should do that because the club can say, well, can you prove to us that? Can you show us the figures that? Because to them, you've just said no. And there was something else that they decided it was unfair for. But at the same time, the panel were still saying, no, they're right though.
Yep.
Because they wanted to include loans in that as well. So if anything, what Manchester City have done might bite them on arse even more because their owner can't just lend them money beyond fair market value. So yeah, both sides claimed victory because the Premier League were saying, well, they clearly agree with our rules. We just need to fix one or two things to make sure it's okay. And Manchester City going, see, they fucked us over.
Aye.
And then the reality is probably the Premier League are happier about this.
Mate, like whoever's got the most money wins all the time, and that's Man City.
Well, it's not.
It is though.
It's yours.
Well, I know, but like out of these two that are competing, like
it's your fault.
It's Man City versus the Premier League.
It's your fault. It's Newcastle's fault.
It's not Newcastle's fault.
It is because
Leave Newcastle's name at your mouth.
This rule got introduced when Newcastle got bought up by Saudi Arabians.
I know, but like that's because they looked at what Man City done and went, we can't have that again.
Aye, which is just keeping Man City at the top, if anything. What do you think about this rule though? Because it does make sense. Like you can't just have the owner's company come in and sponsor you for $1 billion.
That's what all the big clubs have been doing for years. Though. Like PSG did it. Like it's always stadium naming rights. And they'll go, I will sponsor you 100 million a year. And like that just completely fucks the books. Do you know what I mean?
Like because when you look at things like Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi, they could literally go, I'll sponsor you £1 billion.
I don't see why they don't implement a rule where you can't have a company that's owned by the same people sponsor your naming, like the naming rights of your stadium.
Yeah.
Just simple, or sponsor the club at all.
Well, I suppose when it comes to things like royal families, like Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia, they own so many companies.
It's hard to even know what they own.
And what they do is they'll have one prince being in charge of that company and another prince being in charge of that company. So they can technically be declared separate entities, but reality they are owned by the same person.
It's like a scheme cousin.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about this the other day. Like, if you ever needed something for your house in the 90s as a scheme kid, like, the shop was never your first port of call.
Oh, no.
You'd like phone your aunt and see if anybody was getting rid of one. Like,
Aye.
I'm sure your cousin Kevin's getting rid of a Breville. Like, could
Aye,
you
it didn't
ring him?
matter how niche it was. Like, you need 4 alloys for a Ford Fiesta. Like, aye.
You need a new floor. he's
I'll go and strip the one out the flats that are about to get demolished.
It's tangentially related, but at least it brightened up that really dull chat about the law. We have to cover it though. We have to cover these things, man. They're big stories.
Yep.
And hopefully that's explained it to you a little bit better.
If anything, I'm more confused. Aye.
Well, just say Willies and we'll move on.
Willies.
There you go. Last piece of news before we get into this weekend's game. It looks very likely that this year there will be a La Liga fixture played in America.
No, don't start this.
I'm afraid so, yeah.
No, don't. Please don't start this.
It's not my fault they're doing it, mate.
No, I know, but like, I don't think this is a pishy route to go down.
Well, I agree, yeah.
Don't. Because then it counts as a home game for somebody, and that means somebody's fans are getting dicked over.
And it's a big one. So supposedly in December, Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid is going to be played in Miami.
Is that because of Beckham and Messi?
Messi and all that. Well, people are now, because this is happening, people are getting worried that this is going to happen in the Premier League. I do want to alleviate some of those concerns a little bit. So Spain and Barcelona in particular and the Spanish league are doing this because they're skint.
Yeah.
So they want to increase their global viewership. They're already hosting a Spanish Super Cup with 4 teams in Saudi Arabia this year. So it's not an official tournament, I don't think, but they're doing that.
La Liga brought this on themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
By no selling the TV deals to like the main carriers.
Ah, 100%.
Because they took it off of Sky. Because I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah.
So if you were sitting in the house on a Saturday night and there was a Barca versus Celta Vigo game,
yeah,
you're watching it.
Exactly, yeah.
But now I don't see any. The only time we see them is in Europe, and I couldn't even tell you half their starting 11 these days.
Aye, no, 100%. And they, like, it used to be if you were in a pub and you're watching say on a Sunday or a Saturday, you watch the 12 o'clock, like the 4 or 5 o'clock, depending if it's Saturday or Sunday. And then after it, there'd be usually a La Liga game on at about 8 or 9. And people would just stay in and watch that. Like, so you were getting the viewing figures. I don't know if they count that and all that stuff, but
but even pubs don't show it.
Aye,
because it's like
they can't find it anymore. Exactly.
You have to go to some mad weird Discovery Plus or something.
Yeah, they've been ran terribly, and that's why they're skint, desperate for money. And they just want the best ways to do that is they'll get paid to have these games on in other countries by whatever is hosting it, and 2, it will increase their global viewership, and that's the kind of thing they're going for. With the Premier League, it's already the richest league in the world, and it's already the most watched league in the world, so it doesn't need this.
Aye.
Like, and doing things like this aren't going to have a big enough positive impact on the Premier League to justify pissing off their fan bases that much. So I really don't see this happening.
I don't see I can see Spain doing it, but
not within the next 5 years anyway. You can never say never with this kind of stuff, because the market could crash and all manner of shit could happen. But I don't see this happening with the Premier League. Certainly not anytime soon.
Aye.
So don't worry about that. But it's kind of bad. I think if you're going to host any game in another place, you need to host a corresponding one also in another place.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then you've got an unfair advantage, and you need to do it for every single team in the league in order for it to be fair.
In order to balance
and no one's going to go see like Levante versus Osasuna. Like, so
and Houston.
Exactly. Like, most people don't even know that those are teams. The only reason like American football fans will know anything about Spain will be through Real Madrid or Barcelona.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll know Atletico Madrid and Valencia and all that kind of stuff just through watching Champions League or whatever. But they're not going to go and watch the Diddy teams at the bottom. And if you don't include them, then it's not fair.
Aye.
So it's stupid, man. It's stupid. Run your league better.
Aye. Just be better.
Stop hiring idiots. And Barcelona, that goes especially hard for you.
Stop electing absolute nuggets.
Yeah. Right. Oh, in fact, before we do this, I discovered a quiz today.
All right, let's go.
It was, were you paying attention to the weekend's football action? Some of them aren't strictly about that, but here we go.
No,
Question
I was half
one.
paying attention, what?
In what minute was William Saliba sent off against
30th.
Arsenal? 30th, yeah. I've had options for you, but 30th is correct. Right, fucking load you, dafty. Right, you might just be getting one question.
I've
Because
smashed it then. 100%. Just 100%ed that. 100%ed it, mate.
Yeah, I'm not getting any signal. So you might have got a wee 100% now.
Yes.
Right, we'll move on. And maybe that'll load by the end of it. I'll throw them in randomly.
Just intersperse them.
So, Liverpool Chelsea.
Brilliant.
That's the first game. Is Arne Slot the baldest?
Probably,
He's
actually.
tremendously bald. Like, he's a great... He looks like...
It's aggressively.
He is. He looks like when Homer, like, dunked his head at the Shino Bolo.
You can see your reflection in his dome.
It's remarkable, honestly.
Aye, he is the baldest guy.
And it was a battle of the baldies. Because Enzo Maresca as well.
Enzo Maresca's a fucking unit, isn't he, man?
Aye, he's got Randy Orton's eyes as well, by the way, if you look at him.
RKO cunt.
He probably was after that. I'm not giving my opinion on this, Patrick. I'm very much just asking you. Right? So I'm very much. I'm very much the sat nav of conversation. You're the driver here. But is there much of a difference between Tosin's yellow card and Saliba's red?
None whatsoever, mate. If anything, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, I didn't get it either. People thought, oh, but he's in his own half, and I was like, aye, but Saliba was in the centre circle.
Yeah,
there's about 10 yards.
Aye.
And it's not Liverpool's fault that Chelsea's entire back line were in Liverpool's half.
Was there no, like, were they no trying to do away with, like, last man red cards?
Yes.
A few years back.
So I've got that. In fact, we'll just talk about this now, right? And we can cover the Saliba one as well. I mean, there's not much else to talk about in the Arsenal game because the rest of it's pish, other than Christie's amazing goal. So there's things that need to be considered. So distance from goal,
right?
The ability to get or maintain the ball under control.
Yeah.
The cover from other people, and there's one other thing. Where is it? Yeah, location. So yeah, distance from the offence and the goal, general direction of play, likelihood of keeping or gaining control of the ball, and location and number of defenders. So
both of them are last man. If one's a red, the other's a red.
Yeah, but I think both of them should be yellow personally, because they're 45 yards from goal.
Yeah, there's still a lot to do.
Yeah,
but still.
And they've got both.
What's
teams,
the XG of a 1-1? Like 0.8.
Aye, but both teams have quick players. When you've got 45 yards to run, that's a lot of time. I've also seen a lot of people fuck that up.
Oh,
I also think about it. How many times?
Harald Brattbakk.
Do you remember the old? What a lovely! It's so nice to hear his name. I really like Harald Brattbakk.
He only had size 4 feet.
Yeah, but still, how he used them.
We Norwegian hooves. So they're good for digging into the snow.
That's the opposite of what you want when you're trying to walk on snow.
No.
That's why snowshoes are fucking massive.
No, mate. Mountain goats, they've got wee tiny hooves.
Aye, but unfortunately, we have feet.
Yeah. Well, no Harald Brattbakk, he's got wee hooves. I've saw his boots. They're in the Jockstein stuff. It's amazing, toty boots.
Nobody's, like, mentioned him in about 50.
I know, nobody talks about him anymore. It's a shame.
Well, how did we get onto Harald Brattbakk? Oh, yeah, one-on-one. Yes. Yeah,
because he used to fuck one-on-ones because it was rapid, but it was terrible.
Do you remember the old penalty system they used to use in America?
Yeah.
In America. So the amount of times people would miss that. Yeah, so you had to dribble and then try and score by the keeper. Lots of people would miss those.
And they had a ball that looked like a volleyball as well. It was all different
America
colours.
used to be hilarious, honestly, you did. But so I'm just not sure. If both of those were yellows, I don't think it was a clear and obvious error that needed overruling. Because there's enough distance from between there and the player. You can't say for certain no other player's going to get there in that distance.
Yeah.
Although I do think it was stupid of Saliba, and I do think he can't really complain.
No, neither. Like,
it's harsh.
If Tosin gets sent off as well, I don't think he could have complained.
Yes.
He got away with it, but that's the ref. That's the human error.
I think it's harsh if a red card, but at the same time, I'm not like, oh, that's a ridiculous decision. I just think it could have and probably should have been a yellow card, but not enough that I'm like, oh, that's clear fucking bias.
They wouldn't overturn
that. Aye, no. Although it would be nice to have some consistency across it. That would be good. And that's the last I'll mention, the fucking Arsenal sending off. No, that's the Man City game because I scrolled so far down to see those rules. Liverpool Chelsea, yes, that was it. How did we get onto that straight away? Oh yeah, because it was the first thing I mentioned.
It was the first piece of action, I think.
Yeah. It's the first notable thing that happened. The decision. There was another decision shortly after, like Salah wanted a penalty.
I think he's waiting for contact.
I think he kicks the ground. I don't think it's a penalty at all. I think the referee gets that one right.
There's and then they get a penalty straight after.
Yeah,
It's the same player that got away with, man.
But that 100% is a penalty. The second one, because like the look of shock on his face. Like, I can't believe you're giving
Try
a
and
penalty.
get an image of that in there.
You fucking yeah. We'll try and find one. It's like you kicked him, mate, in the box. Man, you're a professional footballer. I don't feel that I should have to tell you that. See if you kick someone in the box, it's probably a penalty. Man. Like,
it's probably going to end
didn't
up
get
a
any of
penalty.
the ball. The first one definitely not. The second one 100% a penalty.
And Salah puts it away.
Yeah.
He's lethal, man.
Well, Jenky's short here.
I like it.
Yeah.
It looks class.
He looks hard.
He does. He looks tougher.
Aye. He looks less jovial.
And then there was another penalty that was overturned,
Yes.
which I thought, see for one angle it looked a stone wall, and then you saw it for the other angle and you can see that Sanchez kicks the ball off his shin. And
Yeah,
through his
yeah.
legs.
Yeah,
But
no,
for
that-
the other angle, it looks like he'd slipped it through his legs. So.
Yeah, that is
So VAR
definitely.
got that one right.
Yeah, definitely got that one right, because as much as Sanchez is a calamity and makes several mistakes, and did in this game,
Aye.
he got that right.
He is a
But
calamity.
I think that played on his mind, because there was one, it was for Liverpool's second goal,
Yep.
where he doesn't come out to get it at all when Jones
Aye.
has got it, and you're like,
Jones has got time to take a terrible touch
and
knock it
recover
past
from
him.
it. Keeper should be out there going through him and just take whatever comes from it. You're probably going to
What
be
do
fine.
you think of the Chelsea badge, the mad hologram thing?
Aye.
I love it. I think it's class.
I quite like their kit.
I like all their kits this season.
I think it's helped by not having a sponsor on it though.
Defo, it looks smarter.
Because they used to, that's one of the things that I think they used to fuck up a lot. And there's well, in recent years, that is the size of the 3 on it.
Aye.
It was always either way too big or just a bit too small, and
Aye.
it never looked quite right.
It was kind of like, remember Arsenal had O2?
Yeah,
O2 always was either too big or too wee.
Aye,
It looked
like-
stupid.
I don't know. See that maroon kit? That's still iconic,
Aye,
mate.
that was
Like,
a belter.
especially when Thierry Henry's wearing it.
Handsome boy.
Yeah. It was a real mad game. This properly frenetic back and forth.
Nah.
So basically, Chelsea just kept the ball and moved everyone right up the pitch, and Liverpool were like, okay, we'll just counter on you then. And they did that regularly, and because Chelsea's defence is not the best, it creaked a lot in this
Their
game.
squad is ridiculous, by the way. Do you see the strength of their bench? It's mental. But they've got no defenders.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'd also no real centre
It's
forward
like
either.
you get a money cheating champ manager and you just sign all the best forwards and you're like, oh fuck. I'm sitting here with like fucking Ramon Vega playing centre back here.
I did so I started FC24 just because it's on Game Pass. So I've not played one of the newer FIFA games in a while. I went to Celtic and I just started raiding the free agents at the start of the season. I now have an incredible team
Aye.
of just like Mexicans. they're all free agents, and I'm like, I've ruined this for myself because this is now too easy.
Aye.
But aye.
But like, I think Chelsea did play well, but the only difference was Palmer didn't turn up.
I don't think either team can claim that they played particularly well. I think it was
Liverpool done enough to win the game,
tactically, yes, I would agree with that. I think I'm assuming this was on purpose by Arne Slot. The fact that he saw that Chelsea were going to try and play that possession right on the edge of their box.
Yep.
And he was like, well, we can soak that up. We've got a good enough defence. We just play on the counter. I'm assuming that's something Slot watched, saw, and was like, right, okay, we'll plan for this, rather than it just sort of happened during the game.
Aye.
You know, because he's got quite a big bald head, so there's a
There's
lot of room for
there's a lot of
information.
stuff happening in there.
I wonder if it'll grow throughout the season. Keep your eye on that. But yeah, the Chelsea defending was just woeful at times, man.
Yeah.
And the fact that they kept playing, like we said for the yellow card, their entire back line was in Liverpool's half.
Aye, which is madness.
Against Mo Salah, players like Jota, even Gravenberch is fucking fast, man. Like
Nunez came on.
Nunes, exactly.
Luis Diaz, fuck's sake.
They've got Luis Diaz, like, what you doing?
Aye, it's going to end one way.
Yeah, and that's why obviously they had the risk of one penalty and then ended up giving away another one. Like, it's it was a very bold strategy by Maresca, who, and to be fair, Chelsea have been in decent form recently.
Oh, aye.
But again, come up against a good team and they were in bother. I think, and I'm going to talk about this a lot today and apologise for it, one of the real big problems for Chelsea was the defence did get back quickly.
Yeah.
But the midfield just didn't bother the hoop.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of shots when Liverpool are countering, where Chelsea's back four are getting back. They're not organised yet, but they are getting back. But then there's like 30 yards before the midfield who are just jogging back at a really, really slow pace. And obviously, all of Liverpool's midfield...
are just bombing.
Yeah,
Aye.
they're all running forward. They're all going for it because they want to get involved. And it just kept happening again and again. It was a theme of the weekend, actually. Midfield runners scoring goals and not being tracked by anybody. But, I mean, you know, it was particularly bad examples were this game and the Tottenham game.
Yeah.
So if you're playing either a Liverpool side that's just off the back of being coached by Klopp or a Tottenham team that is being coached by Ange Postecoglou, the one thing you know their midfield's going to do is be mobile as fuck.
Aye, and like they're going to hit you on rapid counters.
Yeah,
they're not going to
exactly.
like knock the ball a bit. Like,
So just be aware of that.
Aye.
The particularly egregious example of this was for Liverpool's second goal again, because it wasn't just Sanchez's fault. Reece James, Chelsea fans will tell you the best right back in England, sees Curtis Jones
Yep.
making the run, decides very optimistically he's going to try and play him offside
aye.
when he's got no hope in hell of doing
I know.
that. And then he puts his hand up. Curtis Jones is in free. He should be tracking, like, as soon as you see him, he's in front of him. Just bend your run and go and try and cover him, take him out,
Yeah.
or do whatever you have to do. And he's just like, nah.
And the age of like VAR and stuff, like you know that the linesman's not going to raise his flag, so why step out and put your horn up? Like
Aye.
it's no.
Also, you
It's
were
like because players used to do that, like the Arsenal back four famously used to do that
Yeah,
to
yeah,
influence the linesman. But like the linesman's not going to put his flag up if he is like less than 100% sure he's
Yeah.
never going to put his flag up until the play's finished.
exactly. And also, you were nowhere near playing him offside. And the rest of your defence weren't playing an offside trap at that point in time. So it was never going to work. Like, I just don't. He is a good right back. Ostensibly, he is when he's fit, which is like 3 games a season right now. But that's a really bad mistake to make. It's
Especially when you just get back in the game.
aye.
Nicholas Jackson took his goal well. He's actually having a good season, man.
That was my proof that this isn't actually a good game of football. It was a fun game of football. It was an enjoyable
No,
game
mate,
of football.
my opinion's changing on Jackson. Like, he's scoring and he's rapid.
He is rapid. So is Didier Agat. Maybe not anymore.
R.I.P.
but He's not dead.
No, I'm talking about his career, though.
Oh, yeah, but he's like 50.
He's a legend.
Don't do that to me, man. I
He's
thought,
the
I thought he was dead there. I was like, oh, we
What
Didier.
is it?
I loved him.
He's answered the question, what's the difference between a cross and a ball that's slung into the box? Didier Agat.
Why did I want to ask that question? I can't remember. It'll probably come up later, but yeah, what is the difference between a cross and a ball into the box? Don't
Didier
say
Agat.
Didier Agat.
Paul Telfer. I don't know. I know what you mean, though. Like, Man U used to just launch balls into the box.
Yeah.
They never used to cross. They would just ping the ball into the box over and over until they get a break.
Also, it feels like, see if you play a pass from where you would normally cross, like if it's soft and it goes all on the ground, like, that's more of a ball at the box.
Aye.
Like a cross, even if it's low, I think there has to be a bit of power behind it.
Yeah.
Right in.
Alan Thompson.
Yeah, Alan
He was a
Thompson.
crosser.
Alan Thompson, right in. Tells what the difference between a ball at the box and a cross is. Oh, mind when he swung about that Hearts fan?
That was
funny.
amazing.
That was brilliant. This is just 2 old men in a pub talking about football.
That's the vibe we're going for, bro.
The play for the Chelsea goal, I would say that wasn't that bad, but Van Dijk didn't cover himself in glory. Neither did Canati.
Do you know Van Dijk's 33?
That doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Well,
I
think
found
about
that
when
quite.
he was playing for Celtic.
I know,
man.
I found that quite surprising though.
Well, he was at what 2012? Would he have been 2013? Would he have been at
2013, yeah.
Celtic? Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah, Christ. Think about it. Like, no wonder he's that old.
Yeah, 33. He's about to agree a new deal though, which will probably be 3 years. Max.
3 years is mad to give to a 33-year-old.
They'll do it though,
Yeah.
because he's quality.
Unless the 33-year-old is Paolo Maldini, that is a mad thing to do.
But like in this day and age, how many good centre backs are there out there? Fucking
Yeah, that's true.
hardly
That's true.
any.
I think they did fuck up for that goal though, like because they're both facing the wrong way. Him and
Aye.
Kanati are both facing the wrong way, and then there's really big gaps between the full backs and them. So it was just an easy ball for Caicedo. Just pick what side you want to put it, and
Aye.
Jackson's going to outpace him.
Yeah.
The rest of the game, I thought they defended all right though. I don't think they really messed up particularly
Palmer
badly.
had
but-
a half chance
Yeah.
outside the box, but that
Yeah.
was it.
Oh yeah, it's Liverpool had something like 7 shots on target, and Chelsea had something like 2. So
Right.
you can really see the difference that having active and caring midfielders makes.
Active and caring. 2 words to describe Alexis McAllister.
Yeah, active, caring, and a bam.
Aye.
Absolutely a bam. Yeah, I can't believe that you've turned your opinion on Jackson, but we'll see. We'll see.
I know, I mean, stats don't lie.
They do sometimes.
I know they do sometimes. He scored a hat-trick against Spurs like, when they were down to like 8 men.
Yeah. Otherwise, Chris Boyd would be the best striker in Scottish football
Oh,
history.
let's
so.
no fucking go down that road, man.
He had another meltdown at the weekend. That was funny. What else have we got here that we want to talk
Oh,
about?
Rafa was on Match of the Day too. It was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Thingy to 2 sitting next to him were treating him like a fucking oracle, man. And the 2 of them
I
were just
know.
like,
Well, that's because he's
The
clearly a
wise
lot
one.
smarter than them two.
aye.
Did you get wee Stoner though? See the
loved it,
Newcastle
man.
legend.
Aye.
It was a Rafa derby though.
Aye.
He did have a brief, ill-fated stint at Chelsea. Rafa Benitez.
Mate, so it's fucking Everton Newcastle these days. It's a Rafa derby. Do you know what I mean?
So I thought you were about to say everyone had a wee stint at Chelsea at that point in time. but
No,
you're
they
not wrong.
did, aye.
Avram Grant, for fuck's
Goose
sake.
Hiddink.
Still don't know where he got him from.
I know.
Just like he looks like a guy from Star Wars, and they've just like, I fire him in,
Big
see
jabber.
what happens. Curtis Jones had a good game,
Yep.
and it's kind of hard to explain with Curtis Jones because I don't think he's ever going to be like a star player because he's not skillful enough to be like a number 10 or a number 7,
Yep.
and he's not a Rodri style player. But what he is a guy that will give you a 7 out of 10
Consistent.
every week. Like it's kind of like a James Milner.
Jordan
It's
Henderson.
completely different, like positionally, but you know you can play him anywhere in midfield, and he's going to do a decent job for you. Which is part of the problem I think you'll have in getting into the first team on a permanent basis. I think you'll always be kind
It's the
of
same for the England squad as well.
yeah.
He won't get
yeah.
into the England squad because it's
Because
too
he's
many.
not better than
Bellingham
any of them
or
at their
Palmer or
position. Yeah,
Foden.
yeah. But he's a good player, and he'll be consistent for them. And to be honest with you, see if you find yourself in a position where any time a midfielder gets injured at the club you support, which is one of the biggest in the world, you play in their position. You regularly come on. You're playing 20, 30 games
Aye.
a season, even if you're not the first choice. Probably happy with that, man.
Defo.
I mean, because you're getting paid a shit ton of money to mostly sit down. So like, I'd take that, man.
Ideal.
I mean, I wouldn't get on the bench. I don't think, but
You never know, mate. Put yourself down like that. Wolves,
yeah,
Man City.
yeah, Wolves, Man City. God damn it, Wolves. Gave me hope.
Mate, Wolves have got 1 point, and like I was saying the
It's
other
the
day,
95th minute.
they're
though,
probably
like-
the 7th best team in the league. Like, they just keep getting done. Like,
Oh, it's so
It's
unlucky
brutal.
for them, man.
It's
so
brutal.
unlucky. Jamie must have been going mental. like,
it's brutal.
because they actually play again. City definitely deserved to win it. They were a far better team.
They're 20 corners, mate.
Aye, but
What's that? A corner every 4.5 minutes? Fuck's sake.
the way Wolves set up was absolutely brilliant. Like their plan, packed the defence, forced them out wide, and will handle any crosses that come in. We've seen other teams do that before this season, and it worked. It was working so well, man.
The first time I can remember seeing a team turn City over like that was when Real Madrid did it in the Champions League semi-final. Well, they basically had 2 banks of 4 in the box. Like,
Aye.
they were just like, come and fucking break us down.
Well, that's what Wolves were doing, and
And,
obviously
like-
they managed to get a goal, but.
Aye, Strand Larsen's goal was good as well. The ball in was class. But like, something that a criticism you could say about City, I know they're the best team in the world, but if you did have a criticism, is they don't shoot enough outside the box. And then when Gvardiol does shoot, he scores an absolute peach. And that's why Rodri's so important to him, because he's a player that will take responsibility and just hit a shot and score important goals. See the Champions League final 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think that's the you're right. They didn't really have any other option in that position.
Yep.
It was a brilliant shot from Guardiola.
But they were doing it a lot in the second half as well, which was good to see, because Sam had a bunch of fucking class saves.
Oh, yeah. Last year's goalkeeper of the year, according to the Phil Shy.
He's going to be goalkeeper of the year this year as well. Despite finishing
up
bottom of the league.
Aye. But see, I want to talk about their first goal, because I think what that did was show the one weakness of the pressing system.
Yeah.
Like, because Man City and Liverpool do this consistently, where as soon as they lose the ball, as soon as someone has it, everybody moves forward. The whole team go, and they all press. They all go into them. And if you can manage to break through that, and Wolves did it with some actually very nice football at the back, some very nice pass and play. Get it out to Semedo, he just sprints, and now the whole of the City team are basically in the opponent's half.
Yeah.
And they're just facing the wrong way, try to sprint back as quick as they can to cover it. Semedo plays a brilliant ball in, and it's an easy enough finish for Strand Larsen. But that's the weakness with the pressing game. If you can break through it, there's no one there to defend.
Aye, but you have to play some amazing football to get through that.
Oh aye. It's almost impossible to do. I'm not knocking the pressing system. It works.
Semedo fucked a 1-1 as well.
Yeah. They had a couple. I think they only had 2 shots on target the whole game, but
They had these half chances where the shot was like, there was one where Strand Larsen was fucking one stride away from tapping in.
yeah. I do also think they had plenty of chances to get the ball away when those corners were getting rained in at the end of the game. It's like, stop hitting it behind and head it that way.
The air of inevitability for that.
I know,
goal.
it was painful, man. It was painful. And then there was a brief glimmer of hope, because they showed a clip of Bernardo Silva right in the goal line. I was like, oh fuck, he might be offside, he might have filled him, he might have done that, and then he ducks out the way with exactly the right time.
So like, it was I just read the match report and then thingy when I watched the highlights. The match report made it look like the Wolves had been done, but they hadn't. Like, he was miles away from the keeper. Andy's about this size.
He ducked down. He basically went into a ball
he's
on the
about that
ground.
size,
Yeah, he's played that brilliantly.
Aye.
Like, it's complete shithousery, but he's done it spot on. Because he's been annoying the goalkeeper the entire time. As soon as it gets near John Stone, that's him annoying the goalkeeper. I'm not doing that was not meant to be an offensive gesture. Trust me, I am a disabled person.
I'm a disabled.
Leg disabled. No, he was bothering him the entire time. As soon as it gets near John Stones, just hits the deck, gets out of the way so that he's not interfering with play.
Aye.
I get why Gary O'Neill's annoyed, because Wolves seem to always get the worst decisions
But
against
like
them.
they said on Match of the Day, nobody's complaining.
Yeah, nobody should be complaining.
Yeah.
Yes, I wasn't
Like,
complaining.
if the keeper thought he was being fouled or
Yeah.
he was offside, he would have been alright in the referee's face.
I don't know. It's the goal should stand, but yeah.
What was quite nice to see was Man City celebrating like they just won the fucking league. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, you think they're so used to winning, they'd be like, fuck it, but like they went mental with their celebrations at the end.
And I noticed Wolves didn't comment on that.
I know.
Some like them,
Just
yeah,
going
some
over
like
the
them.
top. Fam.
You know what? I'm glad you lost. I'm not really, because it's a problem for us. On the balance of play, City did deserve to win it.
Yeah.
And what do we think about Gary O'Neill? Is he at risk of losing his job?
No.
Just because of how
Just
good he
the
did
way,
last season?
just the way they're playing.
Yeah.
I think if you're playing shite football and no win games,
Yeah.
like at this stage you'd be high risk. But I think
that's
because of what he did last season,
Aye.
I'd be stunned if he gets sacked.
That's the 6th last minute, or like 90th plus minute loser they've scored, conceded, sorry. So like, they clearly are holding on for most of the game that they're playing in.
Aye, and they're
they
playing
just-
good football. Like,
Nah, I think they're good, but they're bottom of the table. 7 losses, 1 draw, minus 13 goal difference. That's not good, Dan. Like, you need to turn it around at some point.
aye,
I don't know what they do to fix it, to be honest with you. Just keep doing what they're doing, hope it all clicks. But
score more.
play shiter teams as well.
But aye, the start of their season been mental.
Yeah, they've not had an easy run. City just looking ominous, always finding a way to win.
But I can see Wolves smashing Southamptons and Ipswich, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean I can see that as well actually.
The Bournemouth Arsenal.
How much time do we have, Paul? 15. All right, cool.
Take a couple of minutes on it, because then we've got some juicy games coming.
Yeah. So Bournemouth Arsenal, we've already talked about the red card decision, so not going to go into that. Arsenal created some chances and really should have put them away, but
Martinelli,
hitting the goalkeeper
massive chance.
Again,
that was the biggest turning point of the game. Because the way Arsenal have defended this season against much better teams than Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Had they got ahead, I think they would have held on for a 1-0 or at least a draw. But
because if you can draw a man down to Brighton, you'd think you can do it against
such an easy chance
Bournemouth.
As well. Because the ball's not coming at him at any pace. He's got plenty of time to pick his spot.
Yeah.
And he just smacks it right to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I know. He's almost Timo Werner in that way. Like
he
thinks hitting
he's
the
big
goal.
Werner energy, rapid, great dribbling.
Werner energy.
Rapid, great dribbling, but then just smacking it at the keeper every time.
Yeah. He's someone
we've talked about
get
the red
Henry in to
card.
coach him. Yeah, I'm not. We're not going over that again.
The corner routine for Christie's goal.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Mate, against the team that is corner routines.
I know, and the finish from Christie was absolutely magic as well.
The wee clip though to get it to him.
From Kluivert.
You just don't see it coming.
It's mad that I almost called him Paddy. Patrick Kluivert's going to be a granddad.
I know.
It's so big Paddy Kluivert.
Big Paddy Kluivert, man.
It's so bizarre, man.
And that's how you know you're getting old, with the players you grew up with are now becoming grandparents.
And you're like, to be fair, my mom
probably his grandson will end up a footballer as well, and then that's when you're fucked. Like, I used to watch his granddad play, son. You know what I mean? That's rough.
Didn't Kluivert become the first player to score in all of the top 5 leagues in Europe?
Could believe it.
This season, that is Justin. Almost called him Julian. There's too many people with weird names.
There's too many people.
To be honestly, I think part of the reason that this game changed, it wasn't so much the red card, it was the substitution where he took off Sterling and brought on Kivior, because it changed it all to a defensive mindset. And
it's
after that,
for Sterling, that was his first start as well.
Aye, and he was playing all right. He had his
minutes,
moments.
He was hooked.
Because see, I didn't watch the game because what was I doing at the time? Well, it was Saturday, wasn't it?
Painting the kitchen.
I was playing. I was playing video games or something. If I'm a mate. So I didn't watch the game, and my Chelsea supporting friend said it was 2 going on 5. And then watching the highlights back, I'm like, no, it fucking wasn't, man.
I wouldn't say that.
Can he take anything away from Bournemouth? They took advantage of Arsenal being a man down, and the goals they scored were good goals. So you've got to give them that.
A lot of times teams struggle against 10 men as well.
Yeah.
Famously.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest things to do, according to Graham Murray.
Oh, they're all coming out of the
Harald Brattbakk and Graham Murray. What a pairing. Do Arsenal need to worry about the fact that they keep getting people sent off? Because I think that's the 3rd this season.
So they've got, in the last, 3 seasons, they've got 18 red cards.
Yeah.
Which is 5 more.
But you've got to bear in mind, for some of those seasons, Granit Xhaka
he was accountable for at least half of them.
Well, how long was that as well?
I think that's the last 3 seasons.
Oh no, David Luiz would have been gone by then, wouldn't he?
Aye.
Yeah.
But they need to
wrap it.
Keep an eye on it.
Aye. To be fair, some of them
Something you don't associate with Arsenal.
Some of them are questionable, I would say. Well, also it depends how far back you go.
Aye, well,
Tony Adams and Steve.
But I mean, they were soft from 2002 to 2012.
Yeah.
Very soft. They
the
probably
Wenger years.
Pure fair play award.
Yeah. Some of them were slightly questionable. I still don't buy that Declan Rice should have been sent off.
Nah,
but
shit.
yeah, they do. They clearly need to keep an eye on it, because the only games they've dropped points in this season are games where they've been a man down.
Southampton, Leicester, cracking game of football.
Yeah, but this had big playoffs in the Championship energy. This did not look like a fucking a Premier League match.
The Leicester winger that came on was unbelievable.
Fatara.
Oh, unbelievable!
Yeah,
mate.
he was brilliant. That dig where he hits the bar.
Aye.
That's the worst thing that happened this weekend, that he didn't. That
didn't dip in. Aye.
What a hit that was! That so deserved the goal.
Ryan Fraser had an absolute mare.
He did as well.
So he get done for the equaliser to the byline, and then he gets sent off. You know,
Yeah.
he get done for the first goal, and then he gets sent off for the equaliser.
Yeah.
With Vardy, and then like he's
That
not
was
on the
it.
pitch to like mark somebody during the corner.
As soon as they met a man down, like, should say though for Southampton, up until like the halfway, like half time, maybe even a bit after that, it didn't look like Leicester were going to get anywhere near this game. Southampton were comparatively good. I'm not going to say they played brilliant football. They played decent football.
No.
Again, it just looked like a championship playoff game. But they were on top. They were dominating. It looked like it for a while. It was going to be a case of how many goals will they score.
See, for the winner, your old boy Ramsdale, Jenky should have saved that. I thought he should have saved it. He got a hand to it.
It was one of the later games that I watched.
So like I
can't
used
really
goal was
remember.
the corner routine where
Oh, yes,
but it was a scuffed shot.
Yeah, I don't know. It's come through a lot of
seen it late.
players. So, and also you're not really expecting Jordan Ayew to be able to do that. So like, you're a bit, you know. And concentration's always been a sort of problem for him. Although you think he should have been focused after everything that changed in that game.
As he was under pressure for the last 15 minutes.
But no, I mean, it's credit Southampton. They have been, like, they've always been this season pressure dominant and all that kind of stuff. They keep possession. They do all that stuff. There was a while where they had more possession than any other team in the league.
Yep.
And they just kind of fell apart.
Russell Martin's dead handsome, isn't he?
He's not a baldsman.
Yeah, he's not a ball. He's got a crack. He'd have heard that boy.
What I will say is, I actually think the turning point in this game was Wout Faes almost scoring an own goal.
Oh man, he just looks like David Luiz and plays like him. I don't know if it's the haircut or it's the haircut.
It was almost a Van Persie
Aye.
Holland-esque diving
Aye.
header, like, you know. It was, and I think that kind of sparked Leicester out of life because they're like, oh fuck, we've got a time bomb in the back. We actually need to score
Get the
goals.
ball away from him, man.
Aye.
Do you know I've got him in my fantasy team, and that's why I'm bottom of the league.
Do you?
As well
You've
as
got
missing
Wout
the
Faes?
first game of the season.
I've not
It's just so
changed
that
it
I
in a
can
while.
afford to get Salah and Haaland and stuff. So I have to take a lot of shit players, and he is one of them.
I've not looked at that in a while. I need to
He
do
is
that.
out. Jump onto Spurs before we finish, because
I think there was one other thing I wanted to say about this game, but I can't remember what it was. Leicester are up to 14th now. Potentially survive. Southampton presumably just going down.
I think Leicester will be all right.
Leicester might be the only one I get right about staying in the league. Andre Ayew's 33 now. Like, he's been about for ages. Mind when Swansea were actually a Premier League team.
Aye.
He was there with his
Did
brother.
they not have tons of pure class wingers?
It was Jordan and Andre. I think they both
Yeah.
played for Swansea at that time. It's mad. Anyway, yeah,
Wayne
West Ham
Routledge.
Spurs. Wayne Routledge. I thought you said class wingers.
He was a wing back anyway. He was pissed. He played for Newcastle. So
Nathan Dyer. Right there.
Oh, he was a baller, by the way. I liked him.
He's no Michu. So yeah, West Ham Spurs. My pre-season shock of the season looks a bit fucked.
What was
West
that?
Ham will finish higher than Tottenham.
Oh, was it? That's right. Aye.
Tottenham are in 7th. West Ham are in 15th. Yeah.
There.
To be fair to them, right? Like, they wanted to get rid of Moyes, and they did, and now they're languishing in 15th, and losing big games like that, and are angry in their new home. That is the West Ham way.
Yep.
They are playing the West Ham way.
They gave up. Like,
Yeah.
that's shocking. Like, see, as a supporter, watching your team gear up is the worst thing in the world. Like,
Yeah.
because after the 5th went in, they nearly conceded a 6th like that.
4th, they
Oh, was it the
4-1.
4th and 5th?
Aye, they almost conceded a 5th straight away. Yeah.
Straight for kick-off. And
Yeah.
they're just looking at each other like, what the fuck's going on?
I was at the start of this game watching Bowen set up Kudus for the first goal.
Yeah.
I was like, these guys, like, those two are really good players. Like, probably the most important and best players for West Ham.
Yeah.
And
Paquetá, maybe.
Paquetá isn't
He's
as
been off it
consistent
this season,
as those two are. And as much as I would say Bowen is definitely West Ham's most important player just because of how consistent he is,
Yep.
I could see Kudos making the advance to a top 6 team easier than Bowen.
Yep.
Just because he's got that something. You know, like
Aye.
when FIFA says you've got that something special.
Aye,
He's got that.
Got wee star quality.
But then, as if to prove me wrong, He just went mental.
He just went mental, I know.
See the Van de Ven one, right?
Just started slapping people.
The Van de Ven one I could kind of get because he's pushing him.
Yeah.
And so he can maybe
Mate,
his
I
hands
thought the Van
react
de
to it.
Ven one was a red card on its own.
What? For him to
I
Van de
think if
Ven?
you strike somebody in the face
But he
on a
c-
football pitch,
You could easily claim
Yeah.
that the only reason he's hit him in the face is because Van de Ven is pushing him. So he might have gone to push him in the chest as
did
well.
you see Richarlison nearly get his teeth knocked out because there was two players in the attack? So he ran in and he got somebody's head snapping back. Nearly get his teeth smashed at his face, poor guy.
Oh yeah, that is that is funny.
Who was that other player? Was it Sarr?
Sar. Like, but that's the thing. There was no need for that. There was no need for it. He just went bash.
It was shades of Joey Barton against Man City.
Yeah.
Where he was like, I've lost it. So I may as well just start smacking people in the way off.
I don't like how Van de Ven reacted though.
I went in a bit too
Yeah,
easy.
mate, you're a massive centre half. Don't go down like that. Like, have some pride about you.
I know this doesn't change much because Spurs tend to do this where they'll demolish a team and then they'll
Aye.
get beat 3-2 away to Brighton or whatever. So, like, where jinx Spurs are they now?
7th.
Like,
I
mean,
don't know. This is one of the questions I want to ask you because they're winning games like this and they'll win them well, but they're dropping a lot of points in games where you'd expect them to do better.
Yeah.
And then when they come up against a big team, they're usually losing. So it's hard to gauge them, but 7th, they'll probably take that. Like,
Yeah.
come the end of the season, they'd be all right with that.
I know the Brighton game was a bit of a disaster, but tactically, Ange got it right where he took off Madsen at half time. Everybody was kind of like, what?
Yeah, he did
And-
that again
and
in
it
this game,
worked.
yeah. I think I can only imagine that was so that to bring on Sar's a bit more defensive minded. It frees up everyone else to just go and do
Go
that thing.
mental.
And again, spoke about it before, tracking fucking runners. Like, Udogie doesn't get tracked, and then he turns around and Basuma is in about 30 yards of space on the edge of the box. No one anywhere near him, and he's like, okay, I'll just pass to you and you can score.
Son looks like he's back to full fitness.
Yeah.
Dangerous again.
What a player.
Oh, he's brilliant, right?
Draft dodger, but what a player.
Draft dodger. Oh.
He's a very good footballer though, and it's only because of that he got to dodge the draft. Fulham versus Villa. We word on this. It's a shaky start for Villa, but a good result. An assist for the goalie.
Aye.
Big Leno lumping it up to
Punting
Jimenez.
it up. Jimenez is in great form as
I
well.
know, how nice is that, you see, after his head injury. So he had a brutal, I think he fractured his skull,
Yep.
and he's never really found form since then.
Do you know what's the difference? They get rid of these stupid cornrows, man. And just got a normal haircut again.
There you go, top tip for footballers. If you're out of form, get rid of your cornrows.
Yeah.
But yeah, 10 goals in his last 12 league starts. Can't really argue with that.
Yeah.
Some very questionable defending from the usually reliable Pau Torres, but they had
And some classically unreliable defending for Calvin Bassey.
I do want to talk about
Very
Jonathan
predictable.
Pearce's reaction to that goal. Footballer's answer to Uncle Albert from Only Fools and
Oh
Horses.
my God, man.
He just went, see, there's still a place for direct football in the modern game. And I was just like, Jonathan, nobody's saying there isn't.
I know.
And also,
Sharp.
what happened directly after with Villa scoring an excellent, well-crafted goal kind of disproves that.
Yep.
Especially when they went to go on and score 2 more of them.
Yep.
And also, Fulham are managed by Marco Silva, who does not play direct football. Like, what the I did
Just as
agree
well
with
they
him,
keep
though.
him to the pure like fucking B-side games, you know what I mean?
I did agree with him shortly after about was it a penalty? Oh yeah, the handball. He said it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been a penalty. I don't think that was. I don't
Harsh,
think that was
too
a penalty.
close.
Yeah, he's got no react. Like, he's running. He's got no time to move his hand out the way. I just think it's a bit daft. Good result for Villa. They're in 4th. Fulham are in 10th. Both teams at the end of the season will take that. I think 100%.
Yeah.
The one thing I do have to say is that Fulham, I saw 2 fully grown, seemingly compos mentis adult men holding signs that said, "Come on, Fulham." Fucking wrap that right now. If you're going to have a sign on a football pitch, call someone in the opposition a nonce. Don't put "Come on, Fulham." We're not America. We're better than that. Keep it out
Come
of the
on,
league.
Fulham.
Right, okay, so Everton won again. But unfortunately, we're out of time, guys.
Well,
We're out of time. And Man U did as well, but you know.
And let's not talk about the Newcastle game.
No, we won't.
Danny
We won't.
Welbeck. Fuck's happening.
I still can't believe he's played. But yeah, no, we'll wrap up there.
Yep.
So sorry, Everton fans, but not really. We've got a quiz to do in 2 hours, so we'll need to rush off to that right now. So it's goodbye from Patrick,
Goodbye.
and it's goodbye from me. Stay fresh, cheese bags.